Good afternoon, everyone. I am here with my good friend Theresa. And Theresa, I've known her for, I think, 12 years now.
That's about right.
Yeah. So for over a decade. And I have seen her struggle with pain and different health issues. And just kind of prayed for her until she was ready to reach out. And she reached out in January to start exploring some stuff on keto. So I'm just going to let you, will you tell everyone a little bit about you, your family, just a little bit of your background?
Okay. Obviously, my name is Theresa, and I'm married with 3 biological kids, 2 bonus kids, and now 4 grandchildren. So fourth grandchild was just born in February, so we've got another one in February. So all excited about that. My husband and I are celebrating our 20-year wedding anniversary on Monday. And I was diagnosed at I was 5 years old and I was diagnosed with bursitis in my knees. So I've always dealt with that. And then when I was in my mid-20s, I was diagnosed with Ankylosing Spondylitis, which is a rare form of rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is your degeneration of your joints. Ankylosing is the fusion of your joints. So I've lost about an inch in height. I've got my bottom 3 vertebrae are completely fused together. So I go to the doctor for that, I see a rheumatologist for that, and a ton of medications with that. I met somebody at church who was talking about how he had stage 4 cancer and had the same arthritis I had, and how he totally just changed how he was eating and totally beat his cancer and is pain-free. And I went, okay, that's what I needed to hear. And that's when I decided to make a change.
That is awesome. So what is bursitis?
Bursitis is, I don't know, pain.
Okay.
Because when I was growing up, they always just kept calling it growing pains, and finally my mom's like, that's not growing pains, it's this long. So it must be inflammation, like right at my knees, so it's it must be behind your kneecap.
Okay.
So mild form of arthritis.
Okay. I don't know if you remember this, but probably 6 years ago or so, I just mentioned maybe trying gluten-free.
You did.
I did. And you were like, I read that in one of my groups, and I'm not interested in any diet change. Do you remember that? And that's when I was like, I'm just going to sit back and pray.
A little hard-headed.
We've all got to get there in due time.
Yeah, I think that changing point for me was not only the pain I've been in and the constant medication I'm on, but I'm 54 years old on a dozen medications for a variety of different things. And I'm just trying to not be on a dozen medications. And be healthy and not be in pain and be able to enjoy life.
So when you were in a lot of pain, how did that affect your daily life? Like, how did the ankylosing spondylitis, how did your arthritis affect your day-to-day abilities?
It didn't affect my ability for anything. It affects mostly my ambition to do something. Because like walking would hurt, or even like sitting would hurt, because it would hurt my back and stuff. And I was constantly taking Advil. I would take like 5 Advil 3 times a day.
Wow. On
top of what the doctor was prescribing me for medication. So I mean, it's just you're constantly in pain, and you're constantly exhausted for no reason. And everyone's like, come on, let's get up, let's go. And I'm like, thanks, but no thanks. I'll be here on the couch if you need me.
So it didn't affect your abilities, but more like your quality of life, would you say?
Quality of life, yeah, absolutely.
And then I had a question, and it just like escaped my brain. So, I know what I was going to say. I remember a lot of times reading on Facebook, sometimes you were in so much pain, like you didn't even want to get out of bed some days.
Nope, just got to get about it. It's just easier just to stay in bed. Staying in bed didn't cause pain because of the bed I have, so it was just easier to lay down and be done.
So when you finally decided, I'm going to reach out to Sherry, I'm, want to make a change, what did you do? Like what was going through your mind in how you were going to make the change? Did you have expectations? Or you were just, I'm going to feel my way through this? Did you make changes? Because I know originally when we talked, we were talking about like easing in, and then there was a change. No, I know myself. We're not going to ease in. So talk about a little bit when you started.
Yeah, like you said, I was like when I first started, I was going to ease in. I think I talked to you like the second to last week of January. Because I started it January 29th. So I think there was only a couple days between the time that I actually started it and the time that I talked to you about it.
Because you started on a Monday and you had reached out to me
Yep.
on a Friday.
That was my birthday weekend. I'm like, we're gonna celebrate my birthday weekend, and then we're going in. And I said, I'm just gonna ease into it. I'm gonna slowly start, getting things out of my diet and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, this is crazy. My husband's like, how are you going to ease into this? I'm like, I don't know. We're just gonna do it. We're just easing in. And all of a sudden, like right away, we weren't having any type of gluten or anything, no potatoes, no pasta, anything with our dinners. Yep. I'm like, okay, not easing in anymore. We are going for it. I think it was Wednesday. I think I just decided that. Yeah. And I know if I was easing into it and I had potatoes, and I'd want potatoes because then you crave what you have and you crave what you taste, and
exactly.
So it was just easier just to eliminate it and be done.
So I know you shared with me, but share with everyone else what a typical lunch at work might look like for you prior.
Prior to this?
Yes.
Well, I always do leftovers. So whatever's dinner the night before is always what we have. So,
okay.
So it's always whatever we cook. And we cook at home, I would say, out of 14 days, 13 of the days we cook at home.
Okay.
I shouldn't say we. My husband does 99.9% of the cooking. There is no we involved in this. I don't go in the kitchen. That's his domain, which is fine.
Yes, yeah, right.
And he was all on board with this. He's like, let's go for it. Let's do it. And he does lazy keto because he's a beer maker.
Yep.
But he doesn't want to give up his beer.
Okay.
So, but dinner, my lunches haven't changed so much because it's always been leftovers. It's always been whatever we had the night before. My breakfast has changed huge.
Okay.
My breakfast was peanut butter toast every morning.
Ah.
And lots more like a little bit of toast and a lot of peanut butter. Husband's like, why are we going through this peanut butter so fast? 'Cause I like a lot of peanut butter.
A lot of peanut butter. The bread was just your vessel to give it, right?
Yep. So that has changed a lot. Now it's a ratio yogurt and berries, or I've got the keto chow drinks.
Yep.
Like the drinks that they have there, and I make those the night before, and I do that like every other day. I'll do a drink, and every other day I'll do yogurt, and then my morning snack. That if I do the yogurt, my morning snack is then a ham and a cheese stick. If I do the drink, I'm good till lunch.
Awesome.
So when I do try to stop eating about 7:30 at night, and I don't start again until 8 o'clock the next morning. So I get about 12 and a half hours then of not consuming anything besides water.
That's good for you. Now, I know you had said you had a little bit of a sweet tooth.
I have a horrible sweet tooth. I am addicted to sugar.
And you know what? I think it's huge that you recognize that, especially recognizing that so early in your journey, because
I am addicted to sugar.
You know, a lot of people will. I'm not addicted to sugar. I'm not addicted to sugar, and you know they want to. It's kind of like an alcoholic doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And so, because I think at one point you had sent me a message, you know, you had a Kit Kat bar or something, you know, a soda or something like that. And so your husband's on board.
Yep.
Your children, because you have two children still at home, right?
Yep, I have two at home still. The older of the two, he eats what we make for dinner, but if we make like hamburgers with like a sauce over the top of it, his hamburger will go on a bun. He's going to school to be a chef.
Okay.
So he's what he cooks is what he wants to eat. So you know, so that's fine. I have no problem with it as long as you're still eating whatever else we're preparing with it.
Yep.
But my youngest one, like if we make hamburgers with like a sauce over the top of it, or we make something, whatever it is we make besides noodles, he'll eat everything.
Nice.
And we made like a pasta the other night with dinner because whatever the dish was, like stopped me, like it needed a pasta to go with it. And I'm like, Rylan, I made some pasta to go with it. He's like, no, I'm good, thanks. Which is awesome because he's eating more correctly than he ever has.
Yeah, yeah. Do you see it affecting? Does he notice any changes in his?
I don't think he does.
No.
He's a teenager, and I've got bedroom teenagers that you really don't see them much.
Right. It's like we really do have children in our eyes.
And when they do come out of the room, it's either to use the bathroom or to eat.
Okay.
Or to tell us something. And I'm like, I have a child. Look, I have a child. But they're both, one's 19 and one's 17, so they're but I don't think he's noticed much. He's a bedroom teenager.
Okay. Fair enough. And so you're coming up on 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What changes, if any, have you noticed? And where do you see yourself continuing to go? Do you worry about getting things exactly right or being perfect, or you know what is life like now for you?
I don't track what I'm eating. I just really watch what I'm eating. I look at bottles. I look at labels. I pay attention to what I'm doing. Like we changed out our mayonnaise. We changed out, there's things that are easy changes that you can do.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise is a simple one. We went from Hellman's to Duke's because it's natural, it's better ingredients, no sugar added. There are things that I'm still consuming that I know have sugar in it, like my Hidden Valley Ranch dressing, but it's in moderation. Like instead of dousing my salad with it, it's just on the top of it and just trying to still have a flavor for it.
Yeah.
I am almost completely pain free. I have, when the weather changes and stuff like that, like today's Friday, so Wednesday when we had the pressure change, I could still feel the pressure change, which that might never go away.
Right.
Because that's just weather related with my arthritis and stuff. Darn near pain free. I talked to my rheumatologist when I was there about 3 weeks ago. I am down. He cut down 2 medications. So one medication I only take every other day, and the other medication where I took three pills morning and night, I'm down to only 2 morning and night. So he's on board with trying to get me off my medications and wean me off of things.
That is awesome.
So that's, and I'm still like, when he first kind of talks about it, you're like, okay, what's going to happen with the pain? Like, where am I going to go on these medications? And I haven't noticed not a difference in it whatsoever.
That is so cool.
So, yeah.
That is so great. I'm so happy for you. So, hi. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please be sure to like and share. Also, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and that you hit that notification bell so that anytime I upload a video or have a new recipe, you'll be notified. You can be one of the first to watch. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the video. So, have you noticed any difference or changes in your body composition?
I am down 22 pounds.
Yeah!
And 1.5 pant sizes.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
I can take my pants off now without unzipping them or buttoning them. So
does your husband like that?
It's crazy him though. Like I don't understand what it is with men. Like he had the Santa Claus beer belly.
Yeah.
And he's still consuming beer on a regular basis because he makes beer, so he's still consuming beer. And he's almost completely lost his stomach.
Nice. That is awesome.
But he's doing keto everything but the beer.
Okay.
Or if he's out and about with friends and stuff like that, he doesn't watch as much as I do.
Yeah.
Where we go out to dinner and I'm like, oh, the hamburger with no bun, the side salad, no French fries. He's like all French fries. And, So I watch it much more closely than he does, but he doesn't deal with the pain that I deal with.
Right. Exactly.
And that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because I think we all have our whys, and his why is supporting you and maybe feeling a little bit better for himself, right? And but he doesn't have those big things like you and I had with the huge pain and where it's debilitating sometimes, and it's like, oh, I'd love to go on a walk with you, but I really can't, and so the stronger the why, the more closely you but I think you're handling it great. It not everything has to be perfect. Like you said, you're still using your salad dressing. If you ever want to try a different salad dressing, there are some that maybe don't have the seed oils in it, which helps with the inflammation and stuff, and they're not super expensive. I will get them at Woodman's, but the amount, it's not like you might not even be having it like every single day.
And not so.
And so so you're doing it perfect because progress, not perfection. and that is that is the biggest thing. So I probably know the answer to this. This isn't just a diet for you anymore, right?
Nope, this is a lifestyle.
It's your lifestyle.
Yeah, I can't, because once I'm weaned off these medications and stuff like that, I can't go back to how I was eating.
Right. And
not be back on all the medications again. So as I'm coming off the medications, it has to be my lifestyle change. It can't be anything other.
Yeah, that is very true. So if you were to want to tell anyone that's dealing with pain, or have you noticed anything else, I should say before I go there, anything else health-wise? Are you feeling more energy, more mental clarity? Like pain is huge.
Right.
But are you noticing anything else?
I notice I'm able to clean my house and not have pain. I don't have to take so many breaks. Like it used to be 10 minutes of cleaning and 5 minutes of sitting and 10 minutes of cleaning. So you had to schedule, you had to work a schedule in order to not be dead the next day with cleaning and stuff like that. I can clean, I can go for walks. Hopefully when We bought kayaks, so hopefully I'm going to be out kayaking.
That's nice, and that's such a low impact exercise, and it's just fun. Yeah, we have our kayaks too, and I didn't get to go with anyone this last summer, but I'm going to make a point to go this next summer.
One thing I want to say though that I found really interesting is when I started this, I was really, really worried about how I was going to miss pasta and potatoes.
Yeah.
We are a huge Midwestern family that is a meat and potato family. Yep. Like you have to have your meat, you have to have your pasta or your potatoes or whatever, and then a vegetable. So I was really, really worried about like how much am I going to miss that portion of my plate.
Right.
I don't.
That's good.
Like what we've done is I just eat my protein amount has increased.
Yep.
So that takes up a little more of the plate, and then instead of eating like just steamed vegetables, we do like loaded cauliflower. So it's the cream cheese and the bacon and the cheese in it.
Yep.
And so there's more to it than just a plain steamed vegetable.
Yep.
And I'm not missing anything.
That's awesome. And I know you said you're not like tracking macros or anything, so you're not counting calories either, right? Good. Because and you're not like feeling like you're starving.
Nope, never.
Right?
Never feel like I'm starving. And if I am starving, I just go grab a cheese stick if I'm hungry or something.
Exactly.
I mean, there's easy snacks you can still have. It doesn't have to be a bag of chips.
Exactly.
It can be a cheese stick. It can be a little small handful of almonds. It can be something that's super easy to grab and go.
Yeah, that's right.
Even a slice of ham is good to go.
Oh, I know. If you wrap the ham with some Swiss cheese, or even just stick it in between Swiss cheese, like it's just great. It's a sandwich, right? Just you don't need the bread. Now, your friend from church,
yes,
the one that reached out and spoke to you, he changed his diet. Did he share with you what level of proper human diet he was eating?
I don't know beforehand.
Okay,
so he was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer.
Yep.
Went to the doctor with radiation, chemotherapy, everything they gave him. I don't know, like a year to live or whatever. Like it was a bad cancer. Wow. And he's like, no, I'm not going to go through all that. He had surgery to remove the tumor, and then he went strict carnivore.
Okay.
Strict carnivore, and totally has cancer-free. Totally no pain whatsoever. No medications for his arthritis.
That is awesome. And he had the same ankylosing spondylitis.
Yep. And we were in prayer service, and my husband was praying with him, and I was praying with the women. And afterwards, I just came over and wandered over there and listened to what he was saying to my husband. And it was just like being there in church is what I needed to hear when I needed to hear it.
Yeah.
God knew that this was the time I was ready.
That's right.
And he just put something right in my path that I needed to make the change.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, and when I say proper human diet, I don't like to label like keto or ketovore or carnivore because so many of them, especially keto, people see instead of as a therapeutic lifestyle, as just a fad diet.
Right.
And it comes with such a stigmatism and so much baggage.
So much negative.
And so much negative. So Dr. Ken Berry actually coined the phrase proper human diet because it's like the spectrum of whole food eating. So like children like mine, they can get away with eating some more whole food carbs. Like they could have a sweet potato every now and then. They could have some berries every now and then. Where I'm at, because of my pain and stuff, and I just don't really care for veggies to begin with, I'm more like the ketovore carnivore. And then you can actually get people that have to be as strict as they only have red meat and water. Michaela Peterson, who has ankylosing spondylitis, along with some other issues, that's the level that she's at to reduce that. So you have kind of this bell curve. Most people fall where you're at in the keto section. Your friend, because of his cancer and everything, needed to go more towards the carnivore. So I was just curious if he just did strict therapeutic keto or if he completely went carnivore. So
complete carnivore.
So yeah, I mean, and that's kind of where we live is, in the, more, we say carnivore-ish, because again, you get those staunch, well, you just need beef. Why do you need to make a meal or mimic something that got you sick? Like, we have lasagna, but we just replace the noodles with lunch meat. And it's like, because it stretches our money. And it's good.
And it's delicious.
And it helps people
stay
exactly. And I'm
it's
like,
the whole thing of feeling like you're missing something.
But you will lose for some people you could lose your carnivore card if you do that. It's like, I just can't stand when people do that. I'm just like, you know what, I just want to meet people where they're at, and that's both M-E-E-T and M-E-A-T, and just meet them where they're at, and like, keto is working great for you. So, unless something changes, there's not a reason that you need to go any stricter carnivore.
Right.
And this is keeping you where you need to be. You're starting to wean off your medications, and that is huge.
Yeah, I'm only 2 months into this.
Yeah. Not even. You still have a couple, let's see, it's the 22nd of March.
7
so
more days.
got
7 more days.
7 more days. 1 more week to be 2 months in.
Yeah.
So, and you've already started weaning off of your medications. Yeah. You're down 22 pounds and a pant and a half size. Yeah. Those are humongous things.
Those are huge.
They're just, you're going to be going through Easter. Like, this is going to be an Easter like you've never had before. Because, can you remember an Easter that you haven't been in pain?
No. And I don't help in the kitchen all because of pain.
Right.
So being able to help in the kitchen and stuff like that is going to be nice to be able to not just like sit in the I shouldn't say it because I sit in the living room and play with my grandkids. So maybe I want to sit in the living room and play with my grandkids. But I have the ability though to go in the kitchen and help and not feel like I'm going to fall over from pain.
And now you can be a better grandmother.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to keep up with those little ones,
Oh goodness, and that's a lot.
That is a lot, but it won't be like, I'm not to grandmother status yet. I do have a married son. I'm not to grandmother status yet.
It's the best.
It's just I can just imagine like, you see some of those commercials where it's like, of course they're all medication commercials.
Of course.
Grandma, come play with me. Oh, I can't, and then you get on this medication and everything's fabulously magically fixed. And now Grandma can come push you on the swing. Well, you're going to get to do that without the medication.
Yes, that's my hope.
So what would you say to anyone that's in pain or might be kind of dragging their feet thinking, I really don't need to do this, or, well, I don't want it to just be me, because that's the other thing that I hear so often is it's one person in the family that has medical issues.
That would be hard to.
And so they don't want to have like two different things. Is this a way that a family can eat together?
Yeah, my teenagers aren't missing anything.
Yeah.
And if they want a pasta or something to go with it, we'll make a pasta for them. Or they'll have buns, or my teenagers aren't missing out on anything. We're just making our main focus of the meal is more keto. With if they want non-keto items for their side dishes or whatever, that is fine.
So it'd be safe to say you're teaching them to focus on their protein.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't think that gets given enough credit. Especially in school, everything is all the processed. They put the carbs way up on the pet, and the protein is just this little bitty thing now.
Slipper.
And we need that protein for our muscle repair, for growth, for brain development. We need that protein.
Yep. And my youngest hears me talking when my friends are asking me questions and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, tell me 2 things, even just one thing, that what good a carb is going to do for your body. So he hears me talking to people, like, tell me what good sugar is going to do for your body. Well, it gives me energy. No, it doesn't.
No. Try replacing that sugar with fat and then you get energy. Exactly.
So, it's a learning thing for me still, but it's still nice that my friends are asking me what I'm doing and stuff like that. So it's still nice that
because they're seeing the change in you, and your kids are seeing the change in you because they were seeing the mom with the poor quality of life to now the mom that can be like, yeah, I'll be at your baseball game and I won't be there like aching in pain, and so that is huge. So if you were to have someone if you were to talk to yourself years ago, what would you say?
I would let them know that it's not hard. That was always my biggest thing was it's going to be so hard to make these changes. It's not. It's super, super simple. And if you're worried about how it's going to affect the rest of your family, it doesn't affect the rest of your family when you make those changes. Mm-hmm. If you're the main cook in your house, your husband's the main cook in your house, as long as you're working together, it's not hard. Right. And that was always my fear was this is going to be so hard. And it's not. It's simple and easy.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I don't know if I asked you. Is Brian noticing changes?
Oh yeah.
Health changes?
Yep.
So
yeah, he's totally lost his belly's gone. He's only on one medication right now, and I don't think there's any topic coming off of it yet. But he notices his level of energy and stuff like that and stuff. So yeah, we both noticed huge changes.
Well, that's awesome, and he didn't have to give up his beer. So.
No, and he's like I said, he does what he calls lazy keto.
That's
whatever works for you, babe.
Right, exactly. That's right. You're meeting him where he is.
Yep.
He's supporting you, and you're supporting him, and neither one of you are saying you're not doing it perfect enough.
Yep.
Right?
And
you're doing it for yourself.
There is no perfect.
Exactly.
It's what works for you.
That's right.
And that's a lot of times that people have fear when they change lifestyles. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to get perfect or not. There is no perfect.
Yes.
It's just do what works for you. If you see changes and you're noticing differences, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. And then when you plateau and you don't see any more changes, then change something again and do something.
Exactly. You hit the nail right on the head. People let fear, just like you did.
Absolutely.
Let fear dictate, and that's where, and I know because I used to like just get paralyzed with fear, and then I wouldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah.
It's scary to make this lifestyle change. It's scary to know, like, okay, I'm going to go out for dinner in a whole big group of people. What am I going to eat?
Yeah.
But there's always something on the menu that you can find. Always.
Yeah. Exactly.
A hamburger without the bun, a grilled chicken without the bun. There's always something you can find on the menu.
That's right. You can, and it's not like you have to draw a lot of attention to yourself either, right? You don't have to be like, oh, I got all these food issues. It's just like you just go and you just order. And my girls they had a track meet and they stopped somewhere, and so she ended up, I forget if she ate. They stopped at this someplace, and she wanted a BLT, but she didn't want to like be all weird and get without the bun. And I was like, you could have just eaten the middle off and then thrown the bun away. She goes, yeah, I know. I wish I would have. Because she knew.
It's society.
And it's a learn. It's
society.
It is.
There's so much
society.
pressure on us to eat like everybody else is eating.
Yep. I know. Shortly after you started the lifestyle change, you guys got hit with the flu.
Yep.
How'd that go?
We were sick. Yeah, we were sick. And the day after I was sick, like the recovery day they have after you get the flu, I did go back to my my comfort foods.
Yep.
I had Ritz crackers and mac and cheese because I knew those were things that would just sit okay in my stomach. And I'm like, this is it, a little bit of mac and cheese and some crackers, and the next day I was right back to where I needed to be.
Good.
So it's just that one day that you needed just to like, for peace of mind kind of thing. Yeah. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to put cheese in my stomach right now, and I don't want to put meat in my stomach right now.
Right.
So I did crackers and mac and cheese.
Okay.
Not exactly on program, but there's no keto police at my door, so we're good.
You're good. That's right. Because I know you messaged me and you're like, but I'm back at it. I'm like, hey, that is great. That's as long as it's just like I did this because of, and you didn't let it drag you down in the dumpster for the next month.
It was just a little bump. And it wasn't even a big speed bump, it was just a little bump.
That's right.
And I knew that I would go right back on it the next day and that. And I shouldn't even say go right back on it. I should just say that I went back to what I know I need to eat.
Yes,
it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly
my lifestyle that day needed crackers and mac and cheese.
That is right. That is exactly right. And I might get some hate, but every now and then I have a glass of wine and I do dilute it with some carbonated water. Or like tonight, we're gonna get some Mike's Zeros, so they're sugar-free hard lemonades, and I'll dilute it because I just can't, stomach it that strong anymore. But I have that like maybe twice a month. Yeah. And I'm like,
and there's no person coming to knock on your door.
I'm a flippin' grown adult.
Yeah.
But I know alcohol is not the best. I get it. But it's not like it's sending me back into riddling pain.
Right.
If it was, I totally wouldn't do it. But it's like, right, we're adults, we know what, and you knew, and it's kind of like during Christmas, Ryan's grandma makes this amazing toffee, okay? And she makes it just for me. There was 2 years early on in our marriage where she didn't make it, and I was like, where's that, I don't know what it was, and I was like trying to describe it because I didn't know what it was called. And they're like, oh yeah, that's toffee. So now grandma makes sure that she makes it. And so now the thing is, like, they'll ask, are you going to make toffee for Sherry because she doesn't eat sugar? I'm like, I have set for the 26th when we go for a Christmas party, yes, I will be eating grandma's toffee. Like, I know, and I give myself permission to consume that.
Yep.
And I will give myself a set limit of pieces that, and then that's that.
And it's not derailing you off your lifestyle. It's
Exactly.
allowing you to enjoy what you want to enjoy and not punish yourself for enjoying what you want to enjoy.
That's right. because
all
sometimes
things in moderation.
I struggle with the moderation issue. I know what you're saying.
Yep.
But because I deal with a lot of sugar addicts or carb addicts, I should say, because like a cup of rice has more carbs in it than a cup of ice cream.
Isn't that crazy?
You know, it's just insane. So, and it hits the same drug center in your brain. We would not tell an alcoholic all things in moderation.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yes,
so
you're right.
I really struggle with the phrase "all things in moderation," but I know what you were saying.
Give yourself a limit then.
You give yourself a limit,
Yep.
and you set yourself that this is, I'm giving myself permission for this, or hey, I was sick and I needed those saltines. Honestly, if I were ever to get pregnant again, which I doubt will happen, but hey, God's in charge. If that ever did happen, I can't say that I wouldn't have saltines in the beginning. Right. I would do my best not to, but depending on the level of morning sickness, I may right, exactly. I may give myself the grace to just allow that.
And that's it too. Give yourself the grace and know what your limit is.
Yeah.
If you're have 2 pieces of toffee, know your limit when you go in. Prepare yourself for when you go in.
And that's what it is. It's being prepared, and it's not being so rigid that 1, you drive yourself crazy.
Right.
And 2, you drive everyone else around you crazy.
I think the more rigid you are, the more you have horrible cravings for things.
Yes.
I think if the more rigid you are and say, this is what I have to stick to and this is what I have to do, the have-tos, I think you end up with more cravings and you get something stuck in your head and you can't get out. Like, I need cake, I need something.
Right.
You can't get past that then.
Yep, I think you're spot on.
I can do a couple little chocolate chips and be good.
Yeah.
And did you sugar-free chocolate chips or whatever?
Did you struggle with cravings?
I
in the beginning?
didn't.
Good.
I honestly, I'm having strawberries with every lunch. I have strawberries, and I think that sweetness of those strawberries is what's helping that craving.
That's awesome. And for where you're at, and berries are they're the okay fruit. I'd rather have you have berries than smash a candy bar or get a popsicle or something like that. I'd rather you have that and even some homemade whipped cream because berries are very low in sugar, but they can give you that same kind of sweet hit. Did you experience anything with what a lot of people coined the keto flu? Headaches, things like that?
Very, very, very slightly. But you and I talked, and I just started taking salt, like a pinch of salt on the hour, every hour. It increased my liquid intake, and I was fine.
Okay, so that did help.
It absolutely helped.
Good.
I didn't have any major symptoms whatsoever.
That is awesome. Very often when I have someone coming and they just want to dive right in, which really, honestly, is the best way to do it.
Really
just
is.
rip that Band-Aid right off.
You're going to do it anyway, so why not just dive?
Exactly. They may get the flu symptoms if they don't. Sometimes, they hear one piece of what I say and they don't hear the rest, so they'll start increasing their water but not increasing their electrolytes or their sodium, and or they won't increase their fat, because that's the other piece. Is sometimes they'll feel like I'm really low in energy, but it's like, okay,
have some bacon.
Have some bacon. have a little bit of butter.
Who says no to bacon?
Exactly. Well, so everyone will appreciate this. You will appreciate this too. I was just in Las Vegas, and we went to a Brazilian steakhouse. And we had, most of the people there were probably from South America. So cool. Super sweet. We had 24 people in our group. So huge, massive thing. We're all starving when we get there because we had just been in from 8 to 5 in the seminar. All lectures all day. So we get there and we're like, okay, get the food here, right? So the one young server comes around, he's got chicken. We're like, no, we don't want chicken. Start bringing the beef. So finally they bring bacon wrapped tenderloins. We're like, yes, put that on my plate. So we each get one little thing, and it's gone in like 3 bites. About 5 minutes later, he comes back with bacon wrapped chicken, and he says, bacon wrapped chicken. And he's got his accent. It's so funny. You kind of almost had to be there, but it's so hilarious. So then most of us are like, no, more beef. He's like, but it's bacon wrapped.
But bacon's not beef.
And we're like, yes, but what it's wrapped on. He's like, it could taste like beef. Then he brings chicken hearts. And we're all like, he's like, oh no, you will like these, I promise. Puts them on everyone's plate.
That's a very acquired taste.
They actually weren't bad. I have to admit, I had 2 of them. They were not bad. 2 was enough. My buddy had like 4, but 2 was enough. Then he comes back, same young kid, super sweet guy, and there was a gal in between me and another gal that I was talking to, so we were kind of leaning over, and he brought back sweet and spicy chicken. Now, I don't do spice at all. Like mild salsa
kind of is
yeah, and it would all depend on the brand. And,
yep.
And so I'm talking. My friend is sitting here. She goes, none for me, and she won't want any either. So I hear him say, you can't answer for her. So I turn around. I'm like, see, it's chicken, right? And he's like, I said, no, I don't want any. You don't even know what it is. I said, yeah, I meant sweet and spicy chicken, but I said, yeah, it's sweet and sour chicken. No, see, you don't even know what it is. Here, you'll like, I promise. And he put the piece on my plate.
You shall eat.
And I was like, so he's like, you try. So I ended up, he thought I was eating, and I was eating the rest of my beef. And I did take a bite of it. It was way too spicy. So it went on the other person's plate that had left already. But he just, they really earned their tip that night. Because they were just hilarious. Oh no, you will like, I promise. And so, you know, there just is, you know, always everything. I don't even remember why I went down that rabbit hole, but it was just funny. And
I think that was the reason for the rabbit hole.
That was the reason for the rabbit hole, was that it was just funny. So yeah, I mean, just, you know, make sure that you keep your electrolytes up and have some fat. Oh, it was because of the bacon. You said, who says no to bacon? I did say no to bacon when it was wrapped around chicken. I said no to bacon, believe it or not.
I have never eaten so much bacon.
Right.
And I've lost 22 pounds.
And you've lost 22 pounds.
Eating bacon.
Yep.
And it's amazing.
That's amazing. I know. I know. Zoe has all kinds of plans tomorrow to make her pizza crust with bacon.
And she wants a steak.
And she wants a steak. Everyone is going to the movies, so she might just get the steak.
We'll see. Tell the others.
I won't tell you. It'll just be her and Mommy, and Patty might get a couple bites.
Nobody will know.
Nobody will know. That's right. Well, this has been great. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Well, I think we covered it all.
Good.
I'm so thankful for you. So thankful for you that you're on this journey with me, and that I can ask any questions. No matter how many questions I ask, I know that I can ask questions, and that's right. It's great to know that there's somebody on my side.
That's awesome. That is, yeah.
So thank you.
Well, I just thank you so much for putting your trust in me, because to me that just, it's not a toot my own horn thing. I want to be there to walk this journey with you and anyone else that wants to walk this journey. Truly, this is my heart. This is my passion. This is what I live for. Because if it wasn't for this lifestyle and other people like Dr. Barry and Dr. Ben Bickman and Dr. Fung and like all the other really amazing people that realized the error of their ways early on, and Dr. Barry says this so beautifully, is that, you know, for many years in his practice, he would just think his patients were getting sicker and fatter because they weren't listening to him. And then he got sick and fat. And he was following his own advice. And he realized it was the advice, not the patient.
Well, isn't that a kick in the butt?
But very often, doctors blame the patients.
Sure.
Because they just think, you're not doing it perfect enough. You're not eating
I'm telling
less.
you XYZ, and you're adding a T in there or something.
They want you to eat less and move more, and they think that you're not doing that. And it can be frustrating. And, you know, so this, Dr. Barry says what he does now is reparation for all the crap, you know, that he did early on. And there's a lot of doctors that are coming around and that are like that. And early on, I gave him horrible advice. I used to be anti-keto. I don't know if you knew that, but I was paleo, you know, because it was whole food. And I'm like, oh, don't do that keto thing. That'll kill you. Because I listened to the wrong people.
Right.
So then when I was like, oh, Sherry, you got to get your crap together and like really learn stuff. But if it wasn't for people like Dr. Barry and all of them and Dr. Bernstein, my husband probably wouldn't be here right now because with his diabetes. Right. And so with his diabetes and his A1C having been, you know, sky high, and if he was here, he'd probably be in a wheel. I mean, if he hadn't passed, he would probably be in a wheelchair and blind, because there was this area. He's lost some of his sight, not enough to be blind, but because of his retinopathy. So for like both of us, this is just our passion to share. We hate seeing people suffer needlessly.
Yeah, there's no reason for it.
And you know, it's like so I'm so thankful that you put your trust in me and reaching out and, you know, just trust in my guidance while doing your Theresa thing. And, you know, taking my guidance but making it fit your life. And that's what I want everyone to know is whatever coach that you might be working with, whether it's me or someone from Bella Steak and Butter Gang or just another friend. You take their advice and you make it work for your life. It doesn't have to be, I don't want you to be a mini Sherry.
Yep, there's no black and white book.
There is no black and white book, and so it's like we have the parameters, we have the things, but I'm not you and you're not me, and we don't know each other's, you know, level of pain, and so what might work for me may not work for you.
Right.
And that's the main thing is that everyone just needs to find their level of proper human diet that fits them, because there is no black and white. And so, you know, there's tweaking. Some people with your type of arthritis can't handle dairy. You're doing phenomenal with keeping cheese and stuff. And so, will there come a point in time where maybe to get off that one last medication, you might have to limit the dairy? Maybe, maybe not. But we don't know. No. For now, right? We're focusing one day at a time. And I'm just so happy with your changes. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see when you get off of all your medications. That is going to be right, one step at a time.
Yep, one medication at a time is all you can do.
So before we end, did your doctor give you any kind of time frame? I know nothing's, you know, set in stone.
No, I just really asked him where I could start. I didn't really ask him where, like, I just asked where I could start.
Yep.
And he's like, let's start with these. And he was totally like you said, a lot of doctors, when you say I'm doing keto, they're like, oh no, you're killing yourself.
Right.
And he was totally okay with what I was doing and how I was eating. And
now the 2 medications that he's weaning you off of, how long do you think it will be before because right now you take one every other day.
Yep.
Then is there like a time parameter like, hey, we'll check your levels or your pain, and in 3 months maybe you can go down to 3 times a week? Or
I get my blood work done again in 3 months. So in 3 months we'll see if my inflammation in my body is dropping and how it's going and stuff like that.
Okay.
There wasn't a big change in my inflammation between December and now.
Yep.
Even though I feel a huge change, there wasn't a big change in my blood work.
Okay.
So but I get a blood work again in 3 months.
Awesome.
I'll go from there and see what he says and see what it looks like.
Awesome.
And just keep getting off of them. That's all I can do.
That's right. That's right. I'm so excited for you. I want to thank you for driving all the way out here. She did not want to do a Zoom type of interview, and we haven't gotten to see each other like in person for a couple of years.
Since you moved out here.
Yeah, since I moved out here. So it's been a bit, but she said I got Friday afternoon open, so I'll just drive out by you. So that is why, and this is actually the first, besides Ryan, my first official interview for my channel. So you get the inauguration interview. But I know you're not like comfortable with this stuff, so I really appreciate that, and it's going to bring other people, a lot of hope.
Yeah, hopefully somebody will hear it that needs to hear it.
That's right.
At the right time in the right place.
That's right, and we'll have to do this again as you're, further on your journey. But I just was like, man, you're not even 2 full months in, and you're already weaning down on medication, and your pain level is down. We have got to share this because it will touch someone.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it's just huge. So I want to thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for everything.